Austin, Tyne's boss, loves to be the center of attention. We were at a Sunday party at his house. Under the influence of alcohol, he showed himself in all his glory. He is as homophobic as it gets, as well as sexist, racist, and believes that only his religious beliefs matter. I never liked Austin, nor did he like me. His house was decorated for the holidays. They went overboard both inside and out. I can't imagine his neighbors getting excited about the onlookers driving by from dusk until midnight. There were Christmas trees in every room and mistletoe in every aisle. Under several of them, I had already kissed Tina. After watching the football match, I waited with horror for the quarterly awards to be presented. Tina thought she'd get one of these, so I crossed my fingers, hoping the evening would fly by and we could go home and celebrate naked. To accommodate the crowd of guests, several card tables were set up. The elite of the company gathered around the table in the Austin dining room, while everyone else sat on folding chairs. Dinner was buffet style. After dinner, dessert and drinks quickly disappeared. Austin was acting like his usual meticulous jerk. I was taken aback when he pointed in my direction and said, "There's Ricky. He had to marry outside the family." Everyone in the living room gasped, even my wife, Teen. What the hell is this? I was seething beneath the surface. Yes, by the time he graduated from school, you were 23 years old, Ricky. By then, all of his cousins were married or pregnant. It made everyone howl with laughter and really damaged our marriage, as did Tyne. I remained unperturbed without even deigning to give him the courtesy to respond positively or negatively. When he attends family gatherings, everyone thinks he's still on the hunt and that Tyne must be his parole officer. Laughter shook the house. Tina never looked in my direction, but her laughter rang out as she hung on his every word. When the hall fell silent, I spoke. "Austin, I remember you saying something about growing up on a farm. We all know what this means. You lost your virginity in a field of sheep, your jeans falling around your ankles." Tyne screamed, "Ricky!" "Yes, indeed. These videos about those who count sheep probably make you get up and run after them." "Ricky, please stop." Tina tried a different approach. It was deathly quiet. "And your beautiful bride, I bet her curly hair reminds you of your favorite farm animals. Does she make you speak faster by saying ba ba ba?" "Ricky, that's enough," from one frightened mystery. "Get out of my house, you idiot." Austin stood up, pointing to the door. I drank an almost empty bottle of beer, waved him off, and left alone. I walked out the front door and never looked back. My phone was turned off before I even got to the car. It took less than an hour to collect what little I wanted to keep. I left my wedding ring and my torn marriage certificate on the kitchen table. Although I didn't want to keep them, I still took all the photo albums I could find. They ended up in a dumpster behind the motel where I spent the first night. I'd survived parties at Austin's house before, but his alcohol-fueled humiliation of me on a Sunday night was the last straw. Although I had no proof, I believed that Tyne was having an affair with this man. Her refusal to stand up to him was enough to destroy our marriage. If her job means more to her than my respect, then she can take him and her job. Life is too short to waste it on people like this. SP, with the advent of internet banking, it has become easy to open new accounts, only in your name. Time was not on my side. I needed to get my half of the assets before Tyne realized it was over between us. To hell, I took everything. Let her figure out how to get it all back. This is war. So what if they force me to return them? I woke up Monday morning confused, but quickly realized where I was and why I was here. I checked out of the motel and arrived at work at my usual time. My phone was still dozing. One of my friends at work did a quick parking check for me at the end of the day. There appeared to be a woman waiting for someone. She was parked on the street and seemed interested in the cars in our lot. Since my expense reports were due by Friday, I stayed working on them until 9 o'clock at night. Now there was little I could do if Tyne was still there, and she was. As I approached my car, Teen interrupted me before I got there. "What brings you here at this time of day, Teen?" "Stop this crap, Ricky. My credit card has been declined and my checking account is empty. And you ruined our marriage certificate. Here, put your wedding ring back on." Don't forget the savings account. I emptied that too. Keep the ring. Can't you stand a little joke? You are a poor, thin-skinned child. Fuck you. Or better yet, go back to fucking Austin. I'm done with you. Because of which? Because I laughed at my boss's jokes. If you want to believe it, of course it is. I don't understand what's the matter. And that perfectly describes why I left you. Now, if you don't want to get sprayed with mosquito repellent, get the fuck out of my way. You cannot. She couldn't. And I do. Tyne retreated to her car. What the hell is wrong with you? She shouted to me when I stopped next to her. What is wrong with me? I had a wife who decided to laugh at me, not together with me. If I had a wife who loved me, she would stand up and say, "Fuck you, Austin. I'm leaving. How dare you insult my husband like that? Come on, Ricky. Let's get out of this stinking hole." In contrast to her usual wit, Tine looked at me silently. I left. Having booked a hotel room for a week, I tried a cafe that I passed by every day but never stopped. It turned out to be more than good. On Tuesday, Tyne's approach changed. There was a note slipped under my windshield. "Ricky, forgive me. I should have stood up for you with my boss. Please come home. I love you. Tyne." Not having my phone on wasn't as stressful as I thought it would be. Checking texts and emails every few minutes gave way to listening to the demons in my head. Without the phone on, it was easy to avoid contacting Tyne. Of course, I could have gone home, but that didn't happen. When I left work on Wednesday, Mr. Asshole himself was waiting for me. "Ricky, I would like to apologize. I was just being stupid." I sprayed him with mosquito spray as he walked back to his car. Mental note: buy more bug spray. You are a pathetic asshole. By the way, I have your wife. You are a cuckold. Suspicions were confirmed. I wish I had recorded this on a tape recorder. Surely his wife would be glad to hear this confession. Tyne returned on Thursday. She was dressed better than appropriate for a weekday workday. "Ricky, please come home. In this outfit, you look like you were the fallen woman of the company today." "Ricky, I dressed like this for you." "I doubt that." "Austin shares you with others now. Do you know that he bragged about having you?" "If so, then he was lying. I was faithful to you." "I doubt that too." "I don't know you anymore. I don't like you anymore. If you add it all up, then I don't love you anymore. It was a 5-year mistake." "Don't say that, Ricky. I was faithful to you and I still love you. Can I show you the video?" "Maybe." Tine walked towards me, playing with her phone. She stopped a meter away from me and picked up the phone. The video was directed by someone other than Tine and focused on time. "Thank you, everyone, for taking a moment from your workday. On Sunday evening, I did something stupid, the one that could cost me my marriage. Many of you were there. So today, I want to say, fuck you, Austin. I'm leaving. How dare you insult my husband like this?" In the video, Tine approached Austin. She waved him off, spat in his face, and then turned and walked away. You will notice that I changed my clothes. I went home after lunch and changed into this. "I want you to come home." He said he had you. It's bullshit. Maybe he wanted to, but I believe in my vows, and you have to decide who to believe. Well, my colleague accidentally captured this. Shortly after I sprayed Austin, he turned on his camera. Watch this video. The video showed me walking away from Austin, who by then was leaning against his car, rubbing his eyes. It clearly shows Austin telling me I'm a cuckold. "Ricky, that's not true. Burn that bastard. Send this to his wife. I have her email address. What can I do to prove this to you? Ask anyone for proof. There won't be any. I would be happy to take a lie detector test. When is this supposed to have happened? Help me, Ricky. I don't want to lose you because of a false accusation. I know I owe you a great debt for my behavior on Sunday night, but there has never been any infidelity on my part. As much as I don't want it, I wonder why he chose to humiliate me. Is this what you do when you're alone? Are you making fun of me?" Teen fought back tears. "I wasn't with him. I don't know why he pestered you." Teeny was choking with sobs. Part of me wanted to hug her. I loved her so much that I married her. What if this asshole just wanted to get back at me for embarrassing him? These emotions collided with the emotions. What did you expect to hear from her? I still need a little time, Tina. I paid for a week at my hotel. Give me some space. Tears flowed down Tyne's cheek. Please come home, Ricky. I love you. Can you still say you love me? I love you, Tine. I just don't like you right now. Tina looked like she was about to snap. I opened my arms and she bumped into me. Do you want to go somewhere for dinner? My pleasure, Ricky. There is a cafe on the corner of 3rd and Sauce. We'll meet there. Dinner was somewhat awkward. Tina tried to act as if nothing had happened. I asked myself a million what-if questions. When it was time to leave, I kissed Tyne's forehead, causing her eyes to mist over. Ricky, please don't seek comfort from anyone else. You don't need revenge, because I've always been faithful to you. I love you. Good night. I love you too, Teeny. Be careful on your journey. Back at my room, I forward the video of Austin claiming I was a cuckold to Tina, asking her to forward it to Austin's wife. No wonder Mr. Asshole was waiting for me after work on Friday. Austin didn't know that security had been alerted and parked next to my car. As I pulled into the parking lot, Austin walked toward me and said, "You are a funny shit. I must kill you." Luckily, Austin only shot me with pepper spray. While I was rubbing my eyes, he kicked me in the balls. Fortunately, the blow was not strong, but I still fell. He made one more good hit before being grabbed by 2 guards. The police were called. He was accused not only of assault, but also of threatening to kill me. The security guards filmed the whole thing. Time left several messages begging me to forgive her, but I still needed time. That damn pepper spray was really corrosive, and I ended up just throwing my clothes in the dumpster in the back of the hotel. I was glad it was a Friday night, as the only clothes I had weren't suitable for work, were dirty. And I didn't want to come into our house and have to deal with Tyne. On Monday morning, I checked out of the hotel with every intention of returning to my home. However, after work, there were a couple of guys waiting for me. "Mr. Williams, could you give us a moment?" I didn't have time to catch which of them was speaking, but I turned to them. "Who are you, and why should I talk to you?" The one who was shorter and, I suppose, older replied, "My name is Eric Brody. I'm filling in for Austin for a while. This is James Sanger from our corporate legal department. Your wife resigned last week, and we would really like her to reconsider her decision. Our attempts to contact her were unsuccessful. We were hoping you could shed some light on what brought us to this point." Sitting on the hood of my car, I briefly talked about the past week. What I may have overlooked is that I sprayed Austin and turned it into a self-defense response. That's what I told the police last Friday. He had no evidence, and the video of my friend was taken after Austin was lying on the ground, cursing. Sanger tried to speak as if in court. "Listen, Mr. Williams, your wife is certainly to blame for all of this, but regardless of her behavior at work, we really want her back on the team. She was a team leader on a profitable project whose deadline was fast approaching. Can you try to convince her to come back? What do you mean by her behavior at work?" Both men looked at each other as if one of them had farted. Sanger tried to save face. "Well, it's well known around the office that he and Austin were too friendly with each other. We have no evidence that they ever violated company policy, which only applies to their time together during work hours. Our investigation stopped as soon as they left the workplace. If he tried to help, then, of course, he failed. Listen, James, if you do not want to share the results of your investigation with me, I have no further comments." Brody looked worried. "As much as we'd like to, Ricky, this data is considered proprietary and employee privacy laws don't allow it. Then I think you better call time and ask a little harder." All the best, gentlemen. When I left, I was more puzzled than ever. My initial suspicion that there was something going on between Austin and Tyne became white hot. Instead of driving home, I stopped at a sports bar and called Tyne from the parking lot. "Ricky, when are you going to come back home?" "Well, it depends on you. A few minutes ago, I spoke with your company's legal representative. He implied that your office friends threw you under the bus because you and Austin were acting unprofessionally. Would you like to comment?" "Ricky, I have always been faithful to you." "Then let me ask it another way. Would you do everything you did with him if your mother was standing next to you? The pause answered for her. Teen repeated, I have always been faithful to you. She's just not honest. I gave you a chance to confess, but you didn't confess. And I pressed the red end button. Teen called back immediately. I answered, not now. I quickly turned off the phone and drove back to the hotel. On the way, I stopped to buy new clothes and wondered if this would be my new existence. One of my purchases was a landline phone. To avoid being ambushed after work, I arrived at 4 in the morning and left at 1 in the afternoon. My boss didn't mind and even offered to work remotely several days a week. Those who needed to contact me now had my phone number. I spent my nights feeling sorry for myself and emptying my inboxes, emails, and voicemails. Yes, it looked like Tiny was hurt, but she clearly wasn't being completely honest with me. The time spent away from the mysteries was painful. She seemed sincere about not cheating, but something was brewing. Sooner or later, I will have to talk to her. At about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when I was leaving work, I was called to the reception. Are you Ricky Williams? Asked a woman dressed casually. Yes. How can I help you? I'm here to deliver this envelope to you. Have a good day. As I carried it to the car, I wondered if time had filled for divorcee, and I was wrong. Inside was a lie detector test result and a signed postnuptial agreement. Line by line, I tested the results on a lie detector. I went online to check if the company was legit. It turned out that, yes. Have you had sex of any kind with anyone other than your husband since you started living together exclusively? No. True. Did you have an emotional affair during the same time period? Yes, it's true. With just one person? Yes, it's true. Have you hosted dinners that your husband would not approve of? Yes, it's true. Have you received gifts that you should have refused? Yes, it's true. Is all this still going on? No. True. Do you love your husband? Yes, it's true. There were many other basic questions, but my suspicions were confirmed. So, what now? I turned my phone back on and invited Tine to dinner at the cafe. Her answer was a quick, yes. Since dressing up didn't work out for me last time, Time showed up in jeans and a sweatshirt. Sorry, I'm late. The traffic jams today were simply terrible. No problem. I didn't think you were ignoring me. That's for sure. So, did you receive my parcel? Received. Something like, good news, bad news. And for that, I apologize. I was stupid. And although you don't have to believe a word I say, this should never have ended with me having sex with him. Doesn't matter. Being married means having the fortitude to tell someone bluntly that you're married and being professional. She said with misty eyes, I know. I failed you. I let myself down. Please tell me we still have a chance. Are you still working with Austin? No, he was transferred. Corporate bigwigs lured me back to work with a salary increase. So you have your eye on someone else? I think I deserve it. I give you my word that I will be an ice queen with men, now and forever, if you only come home. If I find out anything you haven't disclosed about your indiscretions, I will divorce you. Read the marriage contract. Everything is spelled out there. If you find anything, I'm done. I know you won't do this because there is nothing there to look for. So, will you come home? I reached out and squeezed Tine's hand. She started to struggle before I whispered, yes, we celebrated the 12 days of Christmas with more energy than ever before. Her naughty Santa's helper outfit made me hard instantly. Santa Claus has never driven so cool. Tine glued our wedding certificate together and it sits on her dresser, framed, as a reminder of how close it all came to breaking up. Her mom helped her recover most of the photos I threw away. Corporate gave Tyne a bonus to settle any issues she might have with Austin's behavior. We could be in his house, but the issuance of quarterly bonuses blurred this legal line. They decided it was better to close the matter rather than risk a lawsuit. She is still the team leader. Every time Tyne finds a photo of a sheep, we print it out and send it to Austin at his new job. Anonymously, of course. We've heard from others that Austin has several stuffed sheep left on his desk.
Thanks for hanging out and listening. If you liked the story, hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Make sure to check out our other wild tales right here on the end screen. Catch you in the next story.